Randy Crimmins, Chief Revenue Officer with Mercatus. Glad to be here this morning. I think if you look over the last few years, during the pandemic, there was a rush to set up online ordering for a lot of supermarkets. It was all about just getting online so that they could transact. They had something they could offer their customers. So coming out of the pandemic, what we're seeing is that retailers have stepped back the last couple of years, and they're starting to reassess what being online means and how they can, maximize their opportunity through their online sales. And so they're looking at everything. They're assessing providers they work with. They're assessing the channels that they can deliver through, can offer their product through. They're looking at the overall experience and how does that experience really drive commerce overall, not just online shopping, but also how does it drive the in-store experience? Because they get that, the large players, the national retailers out there, you take the Walmarts, you take the e-tailer like Amazon, they've raised the bar and they're doubling down on their digital investment and they're doubling down on the digital experience. So I think this recognition that it's more than just having online shopping available to your customers, that your digital platform needs to be looked at in terms of how it influences all commerce. And the regionals are stepping back, supermarkets are stepping back and really reassessing that and making sure what tools do they need, what kind of platform do they need to create the experience that they want, and most importantly, that consumers expect today, because the bar has been raised. If you look not just at the platform that they use for e-commerce, let's say, but to look at all the other systems that it has to connect to. It's got to integrate with POS seamlessly. It has to support their loyalty offering, or it should support their loyalty offering. The challenge that a lot of retailers have with their online experience, or that customers have with their online experience when they try to shop online, is they don't get the same experience that they get in store. The benefit of being part of the loyalty program may not extend them to the online experience. Take Snap EBT, a critical feature, for many consumers out there, and especially today when value is so important to so many households. They have that option when they shop in store, of course, but that may not extend when they shop online. And so they're losing out on those retailers losing out on those opportunities for online and to grow that business online with that segment of the population that matters most to. When you look at your online experience and really what regional supermarkets do best in store is that high service model. It's being able to really lean into that service model to create the experience in store that differentiates them and sets them apart. And you got to bring that into the online experience. And I think that's what's missing in a lot of cases today, is that ability to really extend that service model into the digital experience that they offer their shoppers. That is the key. Customer data, first-party data is really the key to success for a lot of supermarkets today in terms of their go-to-market and really holistically understanding the shopper and how they shop with them. So it's not new. We've been leveraging loyalty data for many years in the grocery industry, and grocers don't lack for data. They've got plenty of data, but what they do lack is the ability to operationalize that data, to engage with those shoppers in personally relevant ways, and to use that ability to move the business forward and really drive their business. So having customer at the center of the platform is something that I think at Mercatus we do very well. It's foundational to our go-to-market and to our technology and to our platform, is making sure that we understand the customer journey and we can help the retailer understand the customer journey, because we know all the touch points. We like to say from impression to transaction. So you think about that and the power of that. If we're able to understand from the very first impression on a website or in the app, and then we know every action that shopper makes after that impression, Once we recognize them and we identify them, what do they click on next? What do they load to their cart? What do they load to their list if they're shopping in store? And ultimately, how do they shop? Do they transact online? Do they transact in store? And then bringing all of that data together so that we know more completely what that shopper journey looks like for each customer. And the data's all there. And that's the opportunity that retailers have today, is to be able to put that together and to understand that journey and then engage with that shopper along that journey at all the different points of interaction and to influence, their behavior and influence their purchase activity. Well, at the end of the day in grocery, it's all about increasing transactions, increasing basket size, and ultimately growing the revenue overall. So we try to go back to those simple metrics that have always mattered to grocers. And then we look at our platform and the way we engage their customers, and how do we add an extra item to the basket? How do we get them to make an extra visit once a month to the store? How do we get them to turn left into our parking lot instead of right into a competitor? Doing that's not just one thing, but it's really the sum total of everything that you do to engage shoppers. And the more personally you can engage with them, the more relevant you can make the experience. We know from the work that we've done over the years that if you can do those things, if you can engage a shopper, if you can target offers personally, if you can create an experience that's more relevant to me and my family, you're going to enhance loyalty and you're going to grow baskets, and ultimately you're going to grow revenue for the company. We try to look at it as all the ways that we can engage the shopper through all the different means that we have, the different channels that we can engage, and understanding really what resonates with each shopper and then delivering on that. We refer to our clients as partners because we think it is a partnership. We think that it's a commitment on both sides to collaborate, for us to be able to really understand what their strategic imperatives are, what their business imperatives are, and then to help them leverage the platform to drive those business objectives and to meet those business objectives. For us, we came out of, many of us came out of the grocery space, and we've spent time on that seat of the retailer. And I think that informs a lot of what we do. It informs our go-to-market. It informs as a company, our approach to how we work with retailers. It informs our technology, really what matters most in terms of what we can enable for the retailer through our platform, through our technology, through our services. So I think, the idea of partnership to us is not just a term. It really is something that we try to live every day with our clients and make sure that we're doing everything we can to fulfill our end of our side of the partnership based on what their objectives are and what they're trying to accomplish. Inertia is a real thing, and sometimes really driving change within an organization is different, especially when it's complex as a supermarket chain, and kind of the ripple effect of the changes that you make are real. So it's hard to change sometimes, but I think the reality of where we are today, and obviously grocers recognize this, is that they can't afford not to change. They can't afford to stand pat. And if you're not moving forward, you are moving backward. You're losing ground to your competition, and especially to the mass retailers, the large national players, the Walmarts, the Amazon. I mean, they're doubling down on optimizing the digital experience. They're doubling down on their investment in the digital experience and in online shopping. I mean, we've seen it in some of the reports that you've shared where, their share of e-commerce and their share of grocery just continues to grow because of their investment in the digital experience. So it is paramount importance that retailers act now. There's no time to waste. They have to elevate their digital experience. They have to unify the platform so that their digital experience is driving online shopping as well as in-store shopping. They need to meet the needs of the hybrid shopper because consumers expect to be able to shop online. They expect to be able to be on their mobile device or to switch to their desktop and shop online today and shop in store tomorrow. and they expect that experience to be relevant and personalized and curated based on what matters to them and their family. For regionals, it's not a question of if, but it's they have to make the move and they have to advance what they're doing today to meet the needs of the customer and to survive in a hyper competitive marketplace out there. When I was on the retail side, I wanted a partner that I knew wasn't just thinking about where we are today, but thinking about where we want to go next, and that there was a roadmap to help us get there, because there's the constant need to innovate. On the technology side of the business, it's a bit of an arms race. There's always pressure to continue to innovate, but we don't want to change or to innovate just for innovation's sake. We want to align with where the market's going. And so we really listen to our retailers. We solicit their input. We have a program called MAP, which is the Mercatus Advisory Panel, where we invite our retail partners to join us in fashioning and crafting that roadmap. So we meet on a regular basis, both in person and remotely, with our retail partners, and we listen to them. And we want to hear from them. They're boots on the ground. They're dealing with it every day. And ultimately, software is software, but what they need is a solution. And so our software, our technology, our platform has got to enable the things that they're trying to do in their business and where they want to go with their business. So I think that's a little different about Mercatus. We really do try to include our client partners in that innovation process. Prioritize those things that matter most to their business. You take search. I mean, the importance of search now to consumers and to, our retail partners is paramount, because it's become the way that consumers navigate a site today. We're doubling down on innovation and search. We're leveraging a lot of our data science's strength and our personalization capabilities to make search as relevant as possible for each shopper, based on what we know about them. Just one way that we're looking at how do we make search capability more innovative to meet the need of the retailer and make shopping easier and more convenient when they're online. But we look at all aspects of the experience, the digital experience. If it's search, if it's giving the retailer more control over the front end experience through our CMS tools and advancing what we're doing in CMS and the ability to create dynamic content on the website and in the app. So those are all things that we're looking at that we've heard from retailers that are important to them. Crafting our roadmap to align with the retailer is really important to us. And you mentioned, secondly, customer service. And I think that philosophy is an extension of how we're built to serve our retail partners. And we really do see it as an act of service. We're only here because of the relationships that we have with clients. That's a personal thing for us, and we take that very seriously. We talked about partnerships earlier. We truly do believe that. We believe it's collaborative. We believe that that's an obligation and a commitment that we make when we sign up a new client, that we're going to serve your needs. We're going to help you be successful in the marketplace. We're going to enable or activate all the tools that we have that can enable your go-to-market through our platform. And we're going to do everything we can to create the best-in-class digital experience that helps serve their business and helps them get to where they want to be. I think a lot of our service comes from what I mentioned earlier, that many of us spent time in the retailer's seat. We came out of the supermarket industry and kind of have a sense of what they're going through, the pace of the business, drinking from the fire hose every day, on that side of the business. So we try to align our service model with that and make sure that we're meeting their needs and being good partners. Why do some retailers go to the marketplace? Why do they hit the easy button? And I don't think it's so much that they should go to the marketplace. If they want to extend their distribution out or reach out, there's not anything necessarily wrong with that. So it's not so much about having a marketplace option. It's more about not having a first party presence and not controlling and offering your own branded first party commerce experience. So we think that whether you have a marketplace option or not, you have to have a first party e-com experience. It's an extension of what you do in store. It's connected to what you do on the brick and mortar side. We know that omni-commerce shoppers, meaning they shop in store and they shop online, spend 2 to 3 times what a single channel shopper does. So we know also that it makes shoppers more loyal, that if you have first party branded commerce and those shoppers that are engaged in shopping your online shopping offering, and they're spending more with you and they're stickier, they're more loyal to your brand. It's not so much that marketplace is bad, it's just that you need to own the experience, the online experience. And it's difficult to do that if you broker that out to a marketplace solution only. I kind of talked about service philosophically, and that really what our philosophy is that we have a very high service model, and service is nothing's more important to us than serving our clients. So that's a given at Mercatus. But I think from a retailer standpoint, there's also the functional aspect of it. How do you service our account? How do you manage the business? How do you respond to things when they go a little bit south? And we know the business things are going to happen. And a lot of times you're measured by how you respond to negative events. And one thing that I think Mercatus has that a lot of other companies don't is that we have a global footprint, and we have a technology team and service teams that are across the globe. And so we have 24/7 coverage. We have tier 1 and tier 2 teams located in Vietnam. We have located in Israel, located in Toronto, and located in the US. So it really gives us around the clock coverage and support so that we can respond to the needs of retailers today on a 24/7 basis. And that's just part of our service commitment, what we execute on every day. Yeah, and part of the way we've built our platform out is that we know that we don't have every solution that the retailer needs. Sometimes we like to think that we do, but we probably don't have everything that they need. So we know there's a need for integration, and we have a robust professional services component to our business that is working with our clients to deliver, bring in integrations as they need to customize the experience as many of our retail partners need. But we've really, built the platform so that it's flexible, so that we can bring in those integrations. We have a robust API stack that makes integrations easier. We can consume data from external partners. We can consume services from external partners, either using our APIs or their APIs. So we've set the structure up so that ease of use and ease of integration is just part of what we deliver for our clients. Yeah, and one other aspect I want to touch on is retail media. I mean, it's everybody's talking about it, and all of our retail partners are talking about it, and we know that's a big topic in the industry today, and it's kind of the hot topic at conferences, and our retail partners are obviously looking at it as well. And what we've done is we've created relationships and partnerships with some of the largest retail media networks that serve the industry today. We've also gone out and created partnerships with digital coupon aggregators and providers of cashback rewards. We're also looking at alcohol rebates. And what we've done is create a package for the retailer. So we don't leave it up to them. They're not having to go out and source these things on their own. We've done the work for them. And we're bringing that together in a package with a revenue share opportunity for the retailer, and just the ability to access more values than they've ever had available to them, because we know value matters to consumers today. We're bringing that in, integrating it into our platform to give the retailer the ability to access those opportunities and to control it from their perspective, and looking at ways how they can leverage those values, but do it within the context of their go-to-market strategy and what's important to their customers. So still giving that retailer the ability to control that experience, control how they engage with their shoppers, but tap into those CPG dollars and those values that are out there in the marketplace. I think if you look at the state of retail and where supermarkets in particular are at with their technology stack over the last few years, and all the systems that make up the infrastructure that a retailer has to leverage. And frankly, they have a lot of disparate systems. They've got kind of this cobbled together mix of systems and tools that they use to try and create the in-store experience and the online experience they want. But it's difficult, because it's a lot of these disconnected systems. And at Mercatus, when we think about unified platform, it's really to address that issue, that problem in the market. And we're seeing that retailers coming to us and they're expressing their pain points. And it's really around this cobbled together nature of disconnected systems that they've had to work with for years. And they're looking for a solution. And at Mercatus, that solution is our unified platform, bringing together a lot of these disparate functions and systems and tools into one ecosystem that's part of our technology stack. And if you look at it at a high level, it's really about e-commerce and about engagement, bringing those two things together in a unified platform so that the retailer has the ability to create the experience they want online, and they have the tools to engage with shoppers to drive the business forward. And that's really our focus at Mercatus, is enabling the retailer's ability to engage with shoppers in personally relevant ways that drive loyalty and drive sales growth. And we're seeing that message resonate with retailers. Now, you break that down a little bit more specifically, what are they saying that are pain points? The lack of ability to really customize the experience on the front end. They don't have the tools in the back end to configure the kind of experience they want. So they end up with a digital experience, a website, or an app that is just kind of a me too. It looks like everybody else's. They got a different logo, they have different colors, but it looks like every other retailer and it looks like their competitors. So they're wanting to differentiate that experience, or want to differentiate the user interface and the experience they're able to offer their customers. And that's something that we've doubled down on in terms of our ability to enable the retailer to create the experience they want, but within the extensibility of a platform, so that they can start where they are today and they can focus on addressing some of those pain points. And then they can add other modules or other tools that are part of our platform as they need them. So it gives the retailer a lot of flexibility to take care of some of the things they need to take care of today, but know in the future they're part of a connected ecosystem where they can add other enhancements and other features down the line. I think another challenge they have is just when we're talking to a new client in terms of how do we get started with them. It's not as simple as kind of lift and shift. They've got a lot of different systems, different providers. What they see in our platform is the ability to consolidate a lot of those systems and some of those providers into one unified solution. But it just doesn't happen a flip of the switch. So what we've done is we've really worked closely with the retailer to make it easy for them to make that transition by focusing on what matters most first, and then give them the ability to add additional features and additional modules down the road as they need them. So we can, for example, take a phased deployment approach. So we can start in one area and then we can add on over time to get them to where they ultimately want to be. Yeah, reach out to me anytime. Love to continue the dialogue. You can reach me at randy.crimmins@mercatus.com.